I have with me on this episode a good friend that I've made in the industry, Ransom Wydner, who is the VP of Partnerships at 650, which is an HR compliance platform focused on employment law and a company that has some pretty awesome swag that I was able to get over the past few conferences. So, Ransom, welcome.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, shout out to the 650 marketing team. They do a great job.
They kill it. I know. Hats, sweatshirts, hoodies. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Oh,
t-shirt is so soft.
the great
This-
t-shirt. The thing we're doing now are the packing cubes. It's the only merch that gives you less merch in a way.
We've had conversations at tons of conferences. We've had partnership discussions, and you're one of the partnership people that I've met since transitioning careers over to the partnership field that I've just really enjoyed talking to and workshopping with, and kind of going through ideation. So I thought it'd be great to talk partnerships as we're coming up on the HR Tech conference.
Yeah, definitely.
And the HR Tech conference, this will be like my maybe ninth show that I've gone to. There was one like COVID year that I missed that they didn't have a physical conference. But other than that, I've been at the show every year. And to me, HR Tech is still the best industry conference in HR for partnerships specifically.
Definitely.
From a partnership standpoint, this is where the highest, I think, number of exhibitors go. A lot of partnership people, a lot of other executives go. So you can have some great conversations at the event. First of all, what actually led you to a career path into partnerships? How did you get from, where you started your career over into, partnerships at 650?
Great question. I'd say kind of the shortest answer is partnerships weren't really working. And that's I'm the guy for that at 650. I wouldn't say I'm a fixer because that sounds much cooler. And also, it's more nefarious. It's more like I'm a guy who likes solving a problem. I like untangling a knot, So in all the roles I've had at 650, that's really the only common thread. I was hired as a customer success manager back in like December of 2019. And that's one of the only jobs at 650 that I haven't ever done is the one that was on my offer letter, success manager. We didn't have anybody who kind of owned public relations at 650. And so I took that on for a while. And, I was able to use, thank goodness, the skills that I'd spent a decade pursuing my mostly failed career in music. But I got really good at writing press releases as a musician. And that was like some of my best success as a musician came from like writing a good press release. So I ran our marketing for a while. And then luckily, we hired an amazing marketing leader who's now our chief revenue officer. By this point in the story, it's about 2023. Partnerships are like so important to a startup. Startups just do not have the staff in sales and marketing to bring in as much as you need to grow at the rate that you have to grow to survive. And we still never really figured out. We had some good partnerships, but it was like individual partnerships worked, but the strategy wasn't quite there. The programs weren't quite there. And so I took over our partnerships in like the end of 2023. And I found that this is like the thing that works the best, So it isn't just, it was this thing that wasn't working. And so I took it on. I hope that I don't just make this thing work and then not going to do it anymore. I want to keep doing partnerships because what I love about partnerships, and I'm curious if you feel the same way. I feel like it kind of leverages all the stuff that I've loved about my other jobs at tech startups. Like you get to do the long-term relationship building and really getting to know organizations and their goals and helping them uncover new ways to solve problems like an account manager. I get to go out and land an exciting big deal like I'm an SDR or an AE. I get to help, drive our strategy and our messaging like in marketing and PR. And I don't know of a whole lot of other roles other than like being the founder of a company where you get to do so many different things. You get to work in so many different kinds of areas. And I don't know if it's for everybody, but it certainly is for me. I love it very much.
Most partnership roles, unless you're like a really giant organization, right? And people are a little bit more focused, within the partnership realm. But most partnership roles, you wear a lot of different hats and you kind of have to. You're wearing a hat of like you're pitching ways into an organization, why it might make sense from like a product positioning and messaging standpoint. So there's kind of the marketing, kind of a copywriting arm of that, which you said, you have your PR experience. I'm sure that served you well. Then there's the strategizing part, right? And so once you are working with companies trying to figure out the ideal go-to-market strategies, distribution strategies, what could be a win-win for both sides and a win for the customers. You get to use a lot of different skills in this role, and I found it really enjoyable so far to be able to not just focus on one single area, but you kind of get to flex those muscles quite a bit as you're going through.
Definitely. And I know, you and I are probably biased, but I have been to events where it's partnership leaders from all kinds of different industries. I think we're in the coolest industry for partnerships right now. It really feels like it's dynamic, stuff is happening, alliances are changing, the sands are shifting. It's a really fun industry where it seems like there's opportunity, whatever it is that you're good at. If you're a channel person, if you're someone who's better at technology integrations, whatever your specialty is, it just seems like there's a cool opportunity for you in HR tech right now.